I meditated every single day for the last year, and this is what I learned. So, about 5 years ago, I had never tried meditating before. I had no idea really what it was. I thought it was something that people did when they tried to float in the air, all those myths that you hear about. I had no idea what meditation was. So I gave it a try. And since then, my life has changed drastically. It really is one practice that I would recommend to absolutely everybody, and I want to explain why. Like many of you, if you've never tried meditating, I had no idea where to start. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how it worked. I knew nothing about it, and I downloaded the app Headspace. This is not a sponsored video, but I just really love Headspace. I remember the first 3-minute meditation I did was so challenging. I couldn't just sit for 3 minutes, and I realized that this is something that I need to work on because we are so busy in our daily lives that we don't even have time to sit for 3 minutes in silence with our thoughts by ourselves and get to know who we really are inside. And then this last year, I started trying to do it every single day. I've officially done it. I meditated every single day for the last year, and I can truly say that this practice is life-changing, and I highly encourage anyone to try it out. I think it's also important to talk about my why, the reason that I started doing this. I started to realize as I began meditating that I didn't really know myself. I was just kind of going through life on autopilot, doing the things I thought I should be doing things for other people, and I didn't really know what was going on with me. Starting to meditate regularly has allowed me to figure out what's going on in my brain, take a minute to calm down, recenter, and know where my center is and what that means to me. It really has been a discovery and exploration process that I've embraced as that, and I wouldn't have gotten here without meditating, and that's kind of why I continue to do it, because it's just like a vessel for you to learn about yourself. So why do it every day? Why try to build this habit? What's the point of it? And I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and I think that the reason that I feel so great with my meditation practice and what it's done for me is that I do it regularly, and that I've now built it into my life as a habit. It's a part of my daily routine. Going without meditating feels more of a chore than actually doing it. The 10 minutes that I take in the morning to stop and meditate has a greater impact on my life than anything else. And missing that 10 minutes because I'm busy is just a terrible decision usually, and it makes life way easier when I actually choose to do it. So instead of having to try to remember to do it regularly, I've just built this habit of getting up in the morning. Before I even start my day, I'm meditating to kind of start at this base level of calmness and understanding where I'm at that day and how I'm feeling. When I don't do it and I end up doing it later in the day, those hours before I meditate always feel a little different. They feel a little off. I feel a little more unsettled and anxious, and I get stressed a little more easily and angry, and life is always better when I start my day with a meditation. So a lot of people talk about building habits to maintain something or to continue with something or to get better at it, and I think that that is really true, especially with meditation. It can be a small portion of your day, minutes even. It could be a couple breaths, and taking that intentional time will dramatically impact how the rest of your day goes, and I think that building that habit is so extremely important. And the longer that I did this, the longer that I built this habit, it became kind of autonomous. I didn't have to think about it. I just got up and I did it, and it felt like something was missing from my life if I didn't do it. That's why I think it's important to stick with it for a long period of time. Now, you don't have to do it every day for a year. I'm not saying you have to. That's what I've done, and it's worked, and it was kind of a goal of mine, but now that I've done it, I'm past a year now, and I continue to do it every day because it's just like, that's what I do. I've kind of ingrained that in my brain, and I think that's why you need to continue with anything, whatever it is you're doing. It doesn't have to be meditation. You stick with it for a long period of time and continuously do it, even when it's challenging, and it will become a part of your daily routine that you just cannot live without. Now, an interesting thing about meditating for this long every day is that you'd think that I would feel like a meditation god. Oh my gosh, he's so good. He's found himself. This guy is a monk. Absolutely not. The opposite actually happened, and this is something I wanted to touch on because I think it's really interesting. I kind of anticipated doing this for an entire year and being significantly better at it, and I think I need to start with talking about the fact that I don't think you can get better at meditating. I think you can just do it, and that's all. You can potentially become more mindful, maybe more in the present moment, but I don't think you can necessarily get better at meditating. It's just the act of doing it more and more. You become more comfortable with being in that state. And there was a long period of time, like a couple months in the middle of this year streak, where I felt like I sucked at this. I was not doing it right. I had had a taste of kind of my perfect meditation in my mind, and I wanted to do that every day. And there were 2 or 3 months where I just could not achieve anywhere near to that. I felt like I was failing. I felt like I was doing it wrong. I felt like I had progressed backwards in my meditation practice, and I was supposed to be getting better, and I was viewing it as a skill. But meditation is not, I don't think, a skill. It's a practice. It's a way of living. It's not necessarily something that you can actually improve at. It just is something that you can continue to do more and more and more and feel the effects of, regardless of if it's good or bad in your opinion, because it's not really objectively good or bad. It just is. So after reflecting on the year, I've realized that I really don't know much about meditating. The longer that I do it, the more I feel like I am an amateur, a beginner. I don't know anything. And I think that that's something that's kind of beautiful, that if you accept it, which I am trying to do moving forward, it can really bring you peace in knowing that there's not really a forward point. There's only really this present moment, which is essentially what meditating is. It's acknowledging your existence in the present moment, right here, right now. And that's what I've realized after doing this every day for a year. It doesn't matter if you think it was good meditation or bad meditation. Neither of those exist. There's just the meditation in the current present moment and acknowledging your existence in the world. And the longer that I do it, the more I realized I don't know anything about myself. I don't know what it is to be mindful. I don't know what spirituality is. I don't know what being calm is. All these things, the more I do it, the more I realize the less I know. And I think that can be an overwhelming thing, but also if you look at it in a certain light, it's an exciting thing, because that means that there's no end point to this journey. It's just really about being here and focusing on what's happening right now. So after all of this, I think I've realized that meditation isn't really an action. It's actually a state. It's a state of being and doing what feels right. Because for those many months that I found meditating challenging, I started journaling in the morning, which I realized was a form of meditation for me. And that's what felt right. Sometimes I'll go for a walk and I'll talk to myself. Yeah, I'm a little crazy. There's no correct posture. There's no correct breathing method. There are suggestions that people can give you. But really, I think it's all about bringing mindfulness and meditation into your life as a state of being, not an action or thing that you do. So, after 365 days of meditating every single day, I can 100% assure you that there is no right way to do this. And if you've never tried it before, all you have to do is do something. Any kind of action that feels right is the right thing to do. That step forward is in the right direction, regardless of if you know what it is or what you want to do or anything about any of this. If you're feeling lost and you don't really know where you are on your spiritual journey, you don't even know what that is, you don't know what meditation is, or if you've been doing it for a long time and you're feeling stuck, just remember that whatever the choices are that you're making are the correct ones, and you can find peace in knowing that you're always making the right decision if you're following your heart and what your soul desires. But you don't need to meditate every single day for an entire year to change your life. You just have to acknowledge the present moment and your existence right here, right now, because that's the only thing that will ever truly matter.